right? So if he strikes at my head, all right, so now here's medium range. In medium range, I can block stick to stick, I can check hand to hand, I can counter using the length of the stick. Now, of course, as soon as I get in here, those techniques don't work anymore, right? Now we're sort of in this short range. And now at the short range, now we have to change our techniques using curving strikes and checking a lot. Now, out at long range here, now at this range, he's not close enough to hit me, but I'm not close enough to hit him. So then my target becomes the weapon hand and the weapon arm, staying out of range. In this medium range, it's very effective to strike, but the problem in the medium range, if we're reasonably similar in size, if I'm close enough to hit him, he's also close enough to hit me. So in order to hit him and not get hit, which is granted hard to do in the real situation, my game is to control his weapon hand, right? So this is one of the keys to working in the medium range, is controlling the other person's weapon hand. So notice when I block, I stop the weapon with the weapon, but right away I go to controlling his hand with my hand. And now, at this point, now I can hit him, and if I have control of his weapon hand, then I can prevent him from hitting me. Alright, so how do you develop skill at controlling the weapon hand? That's the million-dollar question. So I'm going to show you guys a couple drills, and what we'll do is I'll learn to control his hand while I'm hitting. So while I'm striking, I want to constantly be maintaining my check or transitioning between checks on his weapon. All right, so let's start with some basic striking and blocking where we're just checking the hand, and then we'll progress to being able to control that hand while moving at the same time. Like for example, if I block here, that's a good solid block, and I'm controlling his hand, but because of this position now, I have the low line open, but I can't get to his head very easily because my check is in my way. But if I can learn to transition, right? If I can move that check for just a quick second and get it back, then the high line becomes open to me as well. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, so here's what we'll do is we'll learn some basic blocks and counters, which a lot of you have seen if you've trained with me before. Then we'll start to transition to how do I move that hand and maintain control. So we'll do some essentially they're really, in a sense, they're just patty cake drills to start to learn to control that hand. Right? So let's start with the basic blocking, and then we'll work a little bit on some of these drills that we can maintain control while transitioning between having the hand and not having the hand. Now the other strength of that is in reality, see right now he's being a good training partner. He's just sticking that hand out there and letting me hold it, right? In a real fight, that's not going to happen. He's going to be moving, right? So in reality, I'm going to be transitioning from having control of that hand to not having control of that hand and needing to reestablish control. Right? So we need some drills, we need some training ways to maintain control of that weapon hand. So we'll start with basic countering, basic moving, and then we'll transition into some of the patty cake drills to help you to develop that skill to maintain control of the weapon hand. Make sense?
Yes, Sensei.
All right, so here's the first thing we're going to do. So we'll start very basic, and then I know a lot of you have seen this before, so then we'll move on. And that'll be the other pattern of the days, because we have different skill levels here. So I'll teach a basic drill, let you guys start to practice it. Then I'll teach you the next level of difficulty. And if you've got the basics, feel free to try the new level of drill. If you're still struggling with the previous drill, don't feel bad. Go back and keep practicing that basic one until you get that. Because if you're not doing the basic one well, then it doesn't help to do the next sophisticated one. Then you end up just not doing anything well. So better to stay at the more basic drill and get that, and then transition up when you're ready. So don't feel shy about, all right, I'm not quite getting that, let me stay with the previous one. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, so now, all right, so here's my basic spiel. All right, so notice, when he